we doing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the world? You guys are looking good, looking sexy, looking beautiful. Happy to have you guys on another video on my channel. Today we're gonna be talking about something very interesting. Sitting here, got my mint green tea, got some nice little cigarros. Gonna smoke one of these baddies. Trying to get myself locked in for this video. It's important what winners do and losers do. There is a very fine line between winners and losers. I think that's something that's a very black and white thing in our life, is what separates winners from losers. Now, sometimes that line is very close. Sometimes you make a deal and it's half-half. Both people win. But the truth is, there's always A side, there's always B side. And the winners and losers we're gonna be talking about in this video is in business. You wanna get rich. That's why you're watching this channel. That's why you're watching this video. That's why you were enticed to click on this video. You wanna get rich, you wanna win in business. And I wanna tell you every single thing, every single secret that I've learned over the past 5 years of being in business, going from zero to collecting millions online at 26 years old and to becoming a winner. And to avoid that loser territory when you're starting out. Because I was there at 18, 19, 20 years old. I was a loser. I know what it's like. But I started doing things that turned me into a winner. And so I'm gonna share those things with you. And let's get right into it. The difference between winners and losers. Now there's a few key points. And one of the most obvious things, and the only way to guarantee success in this lifetime, is to not stop. If you outlast people, you literally just keep on going. You never quit. You will literally outwin anyone. Unless you're working your ass off and you're going until you're 75 and you still haven't won, okay, cool. Maybe then you didn't win. But the only way to guarantee success is by not stopping. And what I've noticed is people that win and people that lose have very different mindset when it comes to this. People who lose, they want to simply do something and hope that they get lucky. They'll try 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, maybe. But after 3 or more months, they're gonna stop. They're gonna get bored. They're gonna get fatigued and they're gonna stop. Winners, they simply do not stop until they win. I told myself when I started that I was going to find a way to make money online, no matter what it took, no matter how long it took, no matter how much money I had to invest in myself and lose to get to that point. And believe me, I started a lot of different things. I had 4 different agencies, 4 different types of services that I tried to sell. In my first 2 to 3 years of business, I wasn't really even making any money. I was making between $2,000 and $3,000 a month. Now that might sound like a lot, but I invested over $7,000 into learning how to actually run that. Those first few months were rough because I didn't make that investment back. And if I had stopped at 2-3 months, I would have never been where I am now, sitting here talking in front of you. I wouldn't have been able to make money online, travel over 30 plus countries and live in 7 of those and be here now with you guys. Now, none of that really matters that much, but it's cool because it gives you the freedom to be able to do whatever you want with your life. And now, having worked with some of the biggest coaches, creators, and influencers online, selling a lot of their online programs, I would have never gotten to this point if I had stopped early on. I knew nobody when I was starting on. I had to build an incredible network. Soon making $10,000 a month after that, going on to making $20,000 a month plus every single month. That was something that would have never happened if I had given up after those 2, 3, 4 first 5 months. I told myself I wasn't gonna stop till I won. And even now, documenting my journey to $100,000 a month. I wanted to make this video to make it very clear to you. It took me years. A lot of these young guys you see online, they do it in a few months, okay? But you need to change your mindset and expand the timeline. I had some success here and there in those first few years, like crazy success until 3 years in. And if I had stopped after 6 months, after a year, even after 2 years and went and got a regular job, I would have never been where I am now currently today. And the only reason that I kept going through the hard times is I told myself I wasn't gonna stop until I saw some success. And even now, documenting my journey to 100,000 a month, I know I'm gonna hit that. It's just a matter of time, but I'm consistent and I'm gonna outlast and I'm gonna work harder than anybody else. And so that's the mindset you have to have. And I knew the different opportunities that I had started and I knew that I needed to continue to work towards them and I knew that it was just a matter of time. The difference is winners do something until it's done and losers give something a little bit of effort and then they give up when they don't see anything. Losers look into their negative thoughts. That's a huge thing, is winners need to outlast everyone else. That's one of the major things, is you need to outlast everyone. And if you do that, you're going to outwork everyone. You're going to do better than 99% of people and you're going to win. And if you also pair that with some other good qualities that you're going to learn along the way, you're going to become an unstoppable weapon in business. But simply outlasting somebody is the biggest difference between winners and losers. Number 2, winners focus on the bright side. That glass half full analogy that's super stupid that everyone talks about, it's true. Okay, optimism. Winners have a delusional self-confidence in themselves that they know that it's going to work out in the end. We're not not pessimists. I'm definitely a realist as well, and I understand reality in life and what's actually arguably going to happen and what's not, but I have a delusional self-confidence in myself. I know I'm going to be successful. I've known since I was a child that I'm going to be successful. I've known that I'm going to make money online. I know that I'm going to help a lot of people make copious amounts and set a lot of people free. I know that without a shadow of a doubt. There's no uncertainty in my mind. Think about this. Every single winner did not become rich by accident. They did not become successful by accident. They knew they were going to be able to achieve what they set out to achieve. Now, obviously, maybe like if you win the lottery, but you get what I'm saying. Other than that, every single rich person knew without a shadow of a doubt they had a delusional self-belief in themselves that they were going to be successful. Another thing, every single person has started from where you are right now, including myself. I was exactly where you are on the other side of this camera. I was there just a few years ago. Everyone who has a business has had to start from point one, where you are now, and try to build it up. There's no difference. Everyone starts at the same place. And maybe you're thinking to yourself, oh, well, I've never done this before. This is new. I don't know. I don't have any experience in this. But guess what? Every single person, the thing they're successful at, they had to start not knowing anything, just the same. Some negative self-talk that you probably have is, oh, I've never done this before. Well, bro, nobody has ever done the thing that they're successful at when they started out. That is a stupid way to think about things. Every single person has to do something for the first time. And I've done that as well. I've had to try things before that I've never experienced. And I'm telling you, it's the best thing that you can do. And if you want to get rich, you also have to make that same decision if you want to be a winner. A lot of winners, and sometimes some losers, but mainly winners, are fixated on the positive. Now, sometimes there's losers that are also fixated on the positive, and they're delusional, and they think that the situation that they're in isn't bad. And that's where you have to be a realist. You shouldn't be like, oh, I have no money, I'm a loser, I'm magically just gonna get rich, I'm gonna get lucky. No, you gotta do something to change. That is bad delusional self-belief. That is just delusion. You need to be a realist to understand enough reality that like, oh, I need to change my situation. You need to lock in. Winners fixate on the positive. And it's not just like, oh, I'm an optimist, I think positively about everything. Like, let's say I presented you with an opportunity to start a business and you knew that it was a 50-50 chance. 50-50 chance, 50% that you would win, 50% that you would lose, and the business would completely fail. And I'm not just talking about fail, I'm talking about like bankrupt, ruin you. You would be on the streets, like worst case scenario. You probably wouldn't do it because, you know, if you failed, you'd be a loser, you know, you wouldn't have anything. A winner would look at that and think, oh, wow, there's a chance that I could win. That's an opportunity. Maybe I can give it a go. As humans, our primal brain is trying to keep us safe constantly. Anytime there's a decision that's gonna push us out of our comfort zone, our natural state doesn't want us to do it because it's a risk. It's made to keep us alive and survive, not to thrive. That's why whenever you think of something just naturally, your habit, your instinct is to be critical and think about the negative thing first. That's simply just your brain protecting you. That's why like when you thought about starting your business or your idea, you thought, oh, well, what if it doesn't work? What if I don't make money? What if people make fun of me? Whereas winners would look at that situation, they wouldn't care about what other people think and they would just go for it. They still have that same negative thought. Don't get me wrong. They're still human, but they override that and they say, well, what if it actually does work out? What is the positives? And they push that to the side and they continue and they take action. What if I go through with this and I get every single thing that I ever wanted from life? That is how you have to think. And that is a major difference between losers and winners. Now, before I finish and give you some more very valuable information, I need to take a cigar break. Be patient. Snip this little guy. There we go. I'm gonna light this guy up. A lot of people think cigars are bad for you. Cigars give you nicotine. It helps you get locked in. Cigars make your lungs stronger. If you're not smoking shisha or cigars, you're a loser. If you're really scared of lung cancer, I get it, but I just feel like that's a bad way to live. Like, you shouldn't be afraid of long-term diseases. Like, if you're working out every single day, you're training, you're strong, it shouldn't really matter. This is just a side note, but think about it. How many like actually ripped guys, jacked guys actually get these kind of like long-term diseases? Like, I don't want to say any names to offend any people, but you usually see unhealthy people that are in the hospital with these kind of like long-term diseases. I guess what I'm trying to say is if you work out, you train every single day, you run, I run multiple times a week, then you know, it really shouldn't matter that much. And there's a lot worse things for you than a little bit of nicotine here and there. Get locked in, boys. Point 3, winners smoke cigars and losers don't. But anyways, we're on to point 4 now. To recap, winners think positively. Winners think, what if this does actually work out? Losers think about the negative thing. Everyone really thinks about the negative things, but the winners are able to override that primal natural instinct and push past that to get the things that they want in life. And then the other first thing I talked about is winners have confidence in themselves. They have delusional belief in themselves. If you can't believe in yourself, then you're not gonna be able to do anything. And you know that quote, that very basic quote where it's like, the man who says he can, does, and the man who says he can't, doesn't. And it's like very obvious and cliche, but it's very true. If you actually believe it, you will achieve it. Point number 3, and probably the most important point in this entire video, is that winners take massive action now. You can be a loser right now watching this video thinking that you are taking action by learning things. Now, to a degree you are, but this video that you're watching right now is only gonna be valuable to you if you click off of it right now and you go and actually implement these things. If you actually listen to me and you take action towards your life to actually make it better, then this will actually be valuable to you. If you're just consuming this content, it is literally porn. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube, but hopefully I am. I'm using it as an analogy. Your brain is literally getting stimulated by you thinking about achieving your goals. It's the same thing that people will actually say their goals to each other, and they'll get more dopamine from actually talking about their goals than actually achieving them. And that's why it's so important, and I live by this, is do not tell your goals to anyone until you achieve them. You're getting a dopamine hit. It's the same thing as watching this video. You're like watching this like, oh, I'm listening to rich people, I'm learning how to get rich, yeah, I'm getting more successful, but you haven't done anything to change anything. Winners are action-based, losers are thought-based. Losers are dream-based also. Think about this. The guys who dream and envision and talk about all this stuff and they never take action, losers. If you have a dream and you take action on that, now it's a pathway. Now you actually have a route, a blueprint of how to actually get to that end goal. Winners take action. It's so important. If I have a problem in my life, I look at it and I say, how can I solve this? What can I do now to fix this? A loser has a problem in their life. They're gonna look at it and they're gonna feel bad for themselves. They're gonna look at this solution, think, well, what if I do this? Maybe it's not gonna work. What if I do this? It's not gonna work. Rather than just doing something. And yes, you might fail, but you're gonna figure it out as you go and you do it. Death by a million cuts, maybe you've heard that as well. Analysis paralysis, researcher rat. It's all the same thing. Losers. Like for example, if you haven't started your business, I know you spent hours looking at this business, what if I did this, what if I did that? And here's the reality. It doesn't matter if you spend 20 years doing a massive in-depth research on what is the exact best business model to start. If you never actually take action, you're never gonna make any money. Action beats everything, specifically imperfect action. Progress over perfection. Do you think if you start any business today, whatever it is, that you're gonna be the best, most successful entrepreneur from day one? No, of course you're not. You're gonna take action, you're gonna fail, you're gonna make mistakes, but the quicker that you can do that, the quicker that you can speed up that feedback loop of failure, you're gonna be successful. And this goes into my point 4, which is winners are fast, losers are slow. People who are rich respond to your texts and messages faster. People who are poor respond to things slower. And it's not just a text. It's because rich people move. Sense of urgency. They get things done. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter if you're taking the trash out, you're walking somewhere, small errand, boom, get it done. Because think about it. The faster you get that task done and get on to the next task, the more small things you can do in a day, and in a 24-hour period, you can achieve more than someone who's slow. Winners do things fast because the more things that you get done in a day, the more things you get done in a week, more things you get done in a month, in a year, in a century, you are gonna be the top G. You're going to achieve things faster by just doing more things. That's it. Like for example, when I started out doing outreach, okay, I knew that my competition was only sending out 10 messages a day. What did I do? I hired a bunch of virtual assistants and I literally was sending 50 messages per assistant until my Instagram accounts got banned and I had to create new accounts. And I knew that over a matter of time, I was just going to be more successful with content. I knew that if I just would post, most people are posting 1-2 reels a day, but if I post 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 reels a day on content, I'm going to outperform anyone else and outlast anyone else. So nobody will be able to outwork me. And I know that without a shadow of a doubt. Do not let anyone else outwork you. Be the hardest working in the room. When I first started taking sales calls, I worked 10 hours a day for 7 days a week for months starting out. I got good quick, just like that. Most people are taking 2, 3, 4 calls a day, whatever. I took 10 hours of calls a day back to back. I didn't even have time to go to the bathroom. Literally to eat, I would eat 1 meal a day. I'm serious. I would eat 1 meal a day. I'd wake up, go to the gym in the morning, and I would sit in hotel lobbies until my back hurt. I didn't have a chair that had a backrest. I would just sit on calls and take them back to back. And you know what? I wasn't good at first. I was shy, but I got confident because I was speaking to dozens of people a day, all different ages, told no, so many different objections, that I got good at objection handling. I didn't get good at objection handling by watching videos of people on social media doing objection handling. No, I got good by actually figuring it out and trying to say different things and asking different questions to try to help people overcome their limiting beliefs. And then I started to make a lot of money. That's the real truth. Now I have a massive network within high ticket sales, one of the go-to high ticket sales trainers in this space, because because I had that mindset from the beginning. If you want to get out of Loserville and come over to Winterville, you need to do things lickety split, fast as lightning. Get a sense of urgency. Stop taking so long to do things. This kind of goes with the action point, analysis paralysis. You're always going to have decisions. This never stops. You're always going to have multiple options. Should I do this? Should I do this? Should I go with this guy or this guy? And the thing that separates the winners, and this comes from a book that I read called Extreme Ownership from Jocko Willink, who's a Navy SEAL Team 6 officer, leader of a SEAL team. It was take action on something and then stand by that decision. Even if it's wrong, doesn't matter if you're wrong. Take a decision and go by it. This is what separates these high performing CEOs and founders as well with Fortune 500 plus companies, is they also do the same. You're leading the ship. You have to just make a choice and go with it, because there's a lot of people, they're always going to get all these opinions. Think about the president. He's getting all these opinions, blah, 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 and if he just thinks all the time, blah, blah, he's never going to get anything done. So you have to just, boom, take a choice. You're going to be divisive. People are going to hate you. There's going to be 50% of people that are going to hate you and 50% of people that are going to love you. I would rather have 50% of people hate me and 50% of people love me than just be okay with everybody. Think about it. Losers sitting on the sideline, researching, being a researcher rat, thinking of all the options, while the guy who's actually winning is just doing things, failing, doing things, failing, doing things, learning, improving. And he gets so much more done because he's actually just taking massive action. He's not the best, but he becomes the best over time, while this guy's just been sitting, thinking, researching, and then he starts. And this guy's already miles ahead of him. If there's a problem in your life, probably that you don't have any money while you're watching this video, start a business today. Start a business tonight. Do not wait. Don't wait for a week. Don't do some research. Don't wait till next month. Start today. You can literally make money today before you go to sleep. You know what videos you've watched. Don't go watch more videos. You know what businesses are out there. Do some quick research. Look, this business has this business has this. Pick one and boom, start it now today. You need to take action. Imperfect action, because that will lead to perfect action. Now, if you want to start a business in 2025 and you want to learn a skill set, that high leverage skill set that can set you free and you can make a ton of money, high ticket sales, that is the best business model. That is what I do. Why? Because you can literally make money from this within the first month of you starting. This is not something where you have to learn multiple skill sets, more chances of failing, run a very complex business. You learn one skill that cash flows you now. The way that we make money, and I say we because I have dozens of guys inside of Closer Cohort, my private inner circle mentorship, where we train and we learn and we develop the skill of sales to do this. You partner with a high level creator, influencer, or coach, someone who spent years mastering a skill, learning, failing, and is a winner, and you partner with that winner and you instantly become associated with that winner, and you become a gatekeeper, a consultant, a closer for him, and all the people that want to come to him and buy from him his mentorship, consulting, maybe agency service, maybe business mentorships, anything that they want to buy from him, from his content, his social media following that he spent years building as well. You don't have to build a personal brand. You don't have to develop a high value skill set. Maybe you don't have any skills right now, and that's fine. You just simply partner with him, you close deals for him, and you take a commission of those deals for yourself. It's a high ticket consultant, high ticket closer. That's what high ticket sales is. One of my girls did $2,500 her first week on a low level offer. No experience, used to be a waitress, quit her job, and is now doing this full time. It's that easy. If you sell a $5,000 high ticket program for one of these coaches or creators, you'll typically get 10 to 20%. 10% of a $5,000 program is $500 from a single deal, from a single call that you'll have with one of their followers, prospects, or leads. And you can make $500 and you can take multiple calls in a day, work a couple hours a day, and make thousands of dollars in a single day. I've learned so much about making money online and internet money from simply partnering with these coaches. I didn't know any skills when I started out. I just learned sales. That's the only thing. As a byproduct of actually selling for these people and closing deals for them, I learned how to do e-commerce, how to do real estate, how to get into crypto, all these things that they're also mentoring and selling on. You learn as a byproduct and you get it for free. So that's another side thing. It's a very high leverage skill that you can start today and make a pretty good commission and good life, and do it remotely too, which is awesome. So if you're interested in learning about high ticket sales and you're tired of looking at all these other businesses out there and you want to know what is the number one best business to start today, click the link below. You can learn a lot more about what high ticket sales has to offer. We have a bunch of success stories there. I'm not going to spend the whole video going over it, but if you want it, it's there. You can work with me one-to-one. There's like a 10-minute video there explaining more about the business. You can't buy, you have to actually apply for it. But if you're serious, this is something that you're interested in, you can go and check it out. So to go back to what I was saying, winners win, they take massive action, and losers delay. I can reference people like this in my program, like Jesse, who's making over $15,000 a month, working 5 to 6 hours a day remotely, or Nacho, who's living in Marbella, Spain, working completely remotely, close to $30,000 deals from his phone, first in Bali. And guys like George, who left Australia and is now living in Paraguay, doing over $8,000 to $9,000 a month plus, simply from high ticket appointment setting. These guys are disciplined, they do the right things, they take action. Whereas people who lose, they're not consistent. They give up after a few weeks. They don't believe in themselves. They look at life in a negative way. Winners prioritize important things and losers prioritize stupid things. And that's point number 5. Winners prioritize important things and losers prioritize unimportant things that don't get them to where they want to be. For example, a loser is never going to miss a concert. He's never going to miss going to the club with his friends. He's never going to miss a big event in his city where everyone's going to be there. Why would he miss it? It's the most important thing ever. Hey, wow, girl just texted him back on Tinder. Wow, someone just slid into his Instagram DMs. He only messaged 300 people, but hey, one replied back. Maybe you can get on a date with her. Maybe you should go out with him. He spends all day thinking about, oh, what can I say to get her to want me? Bro, winners win. They don't give a fuck. They spend all day thinking about what should I say to get her to respond to me. Bro, she doesn't want you. Winners focus on what's important. Winners wake up, they have a list of things to do, and they attack them with deadly force, ninja focus. What's gonna move my business forward? What's gonna move my body forward? What's gonna move my mindset forward? What's gonna move me forward spiritually? What is gonna move the needle in my life the most today? What are the things that need to be done? Don't wake up and distract myself by going and scrolling on my phone immediately and giving myself a false dopamine that I'm doing something productive. Getting up and being focused, going from one thing to the next thing, the next thing to the next thing to the next thing that I need to do. Everything is scheduled. Another thing, time block. Keep a schedule every single day. Audit your day and your time like your life depends on it. They do things in their life that progress them. They don't prioritize clubbing. But you're gonna say, oh, well, winners have fun. Winners go to the club. Well, yeah, because they've already won. They've already done the things that they know they need to do to get to that point. Even though you see a baller at the club, they are at the club because that is lower on their priority list. Otherwise, they wouldn't be a baller. You might be a winner and you still might be a degenerate, and that's fine. You can do what you want to do. You might love going to the club, and that's fine. Do your thing. But you need to have your business, your life, just your overall being above in that priority list. Club, girls, partying, that needs to be a lower priority on your list. So winners, as myself, I never get rid of anything that's on my schedule. Anything else goes below those things. Those things have to get done before any of this stuff. Losers have it flipped. They'll go to the club before they work on their business. They'll go to the bar before they go to the gym. They have it mixed up. Gotta flip it. All of these things, mindset, getting your body right, your business, profit, all that needs to be above the degeneracy. And that's a huge difference between winners and losers. Winners are gonna prioritize things that are gonna move them forward, and losers are gonna prioritize things that are gonna keep them below loserville. And the last thing, and probably the most important thing, is mindset. Winners have an incredible mindset. And this probably goes into everything else that I've spoken to you about in this video. Winners have a winning mindset over everything. They think of things of, how can this help me? What can I get out of this? When they're looking at the world, specifically in business, they're looking at this guy thinking, this guy makes money how? This guy does what? This company does how? How do they make money? Boom, 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 boom. How can we connect this? Boom, boom, boom. Who can I help? Boom, boom, boom. That's how they think. Losers look at the world and they consume. Winners, how can I help? What can I create? Boom, boom, boom. Losers, consume, 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 consume. If a winner consumes something, they're thinking, how can I then produce this or make this better? Whereas if a loser consumes that, they just consume that. Losers are aimless. Whereas a winner will spend money on something and think, oh wow, I can make money from this too. How can I make this better? What can I do to improve this? How could this help others? How can I help others people make more money? Because if you help other people make more money, you're gonna make more money. That's the mindset of a winner. Winners are always looking at everything, their entire surroundings, and thinking, how can everything become better? So you need to become a creator. You need to start producing things. You need to be the one actually creating content, not consuming content. You need to be the one that's actually building businesses instead of consuming from businesses. You understand what I'm saying? Winners have a mindset of creating over consuming. And this goes with everything else that I said. Why would someone create something? Because their priority is above scrolling on TikTok. They want to give value to the world. They want to make the world a better place. Impact over income. And when you can start to actually focus on that, not money even, because money is good, money will come, but even just focus on impact, producing, helping others make money, helping improve, helping connect people, all of that that's a different mindset that winners have compared to losers. What can I give? What can I help? Instead of how can I take, leech, consume, and feel bad for myself. Victim mentality. That's a loser. Loserville. Winnerville is produce, give, help, impact, create, all that. Then you need to take action. It all comes together, right? You have to be a creator. People want to learn how to make money online. People want to learn how to get out of their situation, right? That's where I make money with high ticket sales, is we get to sell informational products. We work with creators and we get to sell these things to people that are the consumers. You're going to make money off of the consumers. That's selling the picks and the shovels to the prospectors that are out there in the gold rush. The gold rush is great. You can make some money from the gold, but selling the tools to those people is how you actually make the real coin. And you don't have to develop years building a brand or developing a skill set. So that's why, in my opinion, opinion, sales, high ticket sales is literally the best thing you can do. If you're starting out and you're just wanting to make money online and just get into this space and just get connected and network and give value up front, right? Instead of asking, yo, can give me a chance, please let me work for you, or oh, let me do this for you. Oh, it's commission based. You only eat what you kill. So it's, look, you don't have to pay me. Let me prove myself. Let me close deals for you, and you only pay me once I close deals. It's the perfect way to network. And with Instagram and social media now, you can literally get in contact with anyone, any type of millionaires and high profile clients that 10, 15, 20 years ago would have never been possible unless you had to actually physically walk into somebody's office. This has really leveled the playing field. You just have to switch that mindset up, and really anything is possible. Think about these coaches and creators. Think about if they're selling a $5,000 program, and let's say they have 100 students. Math, they're making a lot of money, and you need to get on the other side of that business. You get a little piece of that pie. You don't need the whole pie, but just crumbs is something that you can live on. You can live on those crumbs, and you can start to build your own pie. So you got to get with people that are successful, get around those people, get on the other side and actually start to sell for them, create that value, learn these skill sets, develop these kind of talents, and be able to change your life little by little. But you got to start, you got to take action today. Be a creator, not a consumer, guys. I hope you guys got value from this video. I really just gave you guys a raw talk of what is the difference between being a winner and a loser, and the lessons I've learned and some of the secrets inside of my mind. And you guys really have to get across that line. You have to leave that loser mentality, and you have to get across that line to being a winner. You have to fight against your operating system. You have to go against the grain. You have to swim upstream. When your brain tells you not to get out of bed, or to scroll on TikTok, or to not go to the gym, or, it's fun, just go to the club. You have to resist. You have to resist. You have to resist. You have to resist. And it's not easy. It's not normal. And even myself, even guys at the highest level, they still get those temptations. There's no difference. But the way that's different between a winner and a loser is the winners know how to override that system, and they know how to actually take action. And when you start to do this over a longer period of time, you can reset that, and then you get dopamine from the things that actually move you and progress you in life. Incredible. Like, you guys will see just the dopamine and the confidence you'll have in yourself for doing the things that you set out to do and being a man of your word, compared to all that garbage and loserville, is going to be night and day. I promise you that. Hope you guys watch this video, and you guys are going to become a winner if you watch this video, if you not already are. If you're subscribed to this channel, you already are a winner. I appreciate you guys watching and more about high ticket sales. If you guys want to learn more about that, check out that video, 10-minute video describes what it actually is down below, and you can apply to work one-on-one with me. Appreciate you guys. Peace out.